much needed rain.
Okay, good morning, everyone. It's 10 a.m. Let's call a meeting to order for court for April 26, 2022 in the Polk County Regional Health Building, Suite A. At this time, we would like to ask Robert Murphy with First Baptist Church in Providence to lead us in prayer.
Father, we just thank you for a great day. I thank you for refreshing rain, and I thank you for your hand in our lives every day. Lord, you give us just what we need when we need it. Lord, I pray that that's what today would be, Lord, as these commissioners and judge and the county officials meet, God, that you would bless the time, Lord. It'd be just what we need when we need it. Lord, as they serve and as they lead, I pray that you give them wisdom and your direction, Lord, and your provision always, Lord, and we just thank you. Pray that you'd be with the folks of Polk County, those that are in desperate need, Lord, those that have plenty. Lord, I pray, God, that we work together to meet the needs all around us, God, and that you'd be honored by your community serving you with open hands. Lord, we just praise you and thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. Madam Clerk.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. On the Texas flag, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
Thank you, ma'am. Item number 2, do we have anyone that showed up, that signed up for public comments? Very well. Item number 3, informational reports. We do have the spotlight on Polk County, which is on the Veterans Services, so I would encourage all of you all to take a look at that. And then also we have a proclamation today declaring April 27th through the 30th of 2022 as National Crime Victims' Rights Week. Do we have anyone here that wants to take a photo with the proclamation? Megan, you absolutely have to come up here. Drag Ricky and some of these law enforcement people up here with you.
Yeah. Crime. That's right. Get the criminals up here with us. Crime. Come on, Ricky. Watch our obstacle course. We don't want any accidents. Well, it's that wide.
Oh, yeah. You're good.
How you doing? Come on in here.
Oh, my goodness.
Come
All right.
on.
Hello, right next to it.
Okay, ready?
Great, thank y'all.
Okay, thank you to all of you.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
You got it, Megan. Here.
Sir. Right.
So we do want to say thank you, especially to all of the people that are involved in crime victims and providing them with assistance. So thank you all very much. Item number 4, new business. You have some addendums. Addendum number 1 on B is $5,341.43. Addendum number 2, $216, and addendum number 3, $106,210.66. Is there anything on the list that you all would like to remove? And I need a motion to approve.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Commissioner Robertson, Commissioner Vincent, any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 5, personnel matters. Consider approval of personnel matters as follows. Review and consideration of personnel action form requests submitted since the last meeting, a review of any authorized emergency hires. We included a preliminary listing of all the PAFs that were submitted in your packet, and at this time there are no emergency hires.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Overstreet.
I'll second.
Second, Commissioner Robertson. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 6, consider requests for revisions and amendments to the budget as follows. The FY 2022. You caught up with us?
Oh, I'm here, but they didn't give me my agenda review in here. Been looking for it.
Can we get another agenda?
No,
for
I'm
him?
good, I'm good, I'm good,
No, here it comes.
I'm good.
You got an agenda but no review. Gotcha. There you go. There you go.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, FY 2022 budget revisions and amendments is presented by the county auditor's office. So you have a copy of the proposed revisions 2022-12 and amendments 2022-12A, and it was included in your packet for your review.
So moved.
Motion, Commissioner Purvis.
Second.
Second, Commissioner Overstreet. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 7, consider request for capital purchases to be paid from general fund balance and included on the FY 2022 reimbursement resolution for year-end issuance of legally authorized debt as follows. You have the courthouse security request for a purchase of 4 body restraints not to exceed $1,527. The permits request to purchase 2 Adobe licenses not to exceed $936. And the auditor's office requests to purchase 1 desktop scanner not to exceed $1,026. Those were the requests as they were listed. The prices have gone up somewhat, but it's minimal, and our recommendation is to go ahead and move forward with the current quotes, and the copies of the quotes were included in your packet for your review. Motion to approve, Commissioner Vincent, second, Commissioner Robertson. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Item number 8, consider any and all necessary action regarding expenditures from the maintenance capital outlay buildings, which are budgeted funds for painting the Onalaska Sub Courthouse and the Regional Health Building roof. These projects were included in the FY 2022 plan for capital improvements to the building. A copy of the proposal from Joe Schrader to complete both projects is included for your review. And the proposed cost for the sub courthouse is $5,000, and for this building it's $4,025, for a total cost of $9,025.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve, Commissioner Overstreet, second, Commissioner Purvis. Any further, Commissioner Vincent, any further discussion or question? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. I should have known it was you, it's your sub courthouse. Item number 9, receive and take any necessary action regarding the FY 2023 budget adopted by the Polk Central Appraisal District on April 11th, 2022. A copy of the PCAD 2023 adopted budget is included for your review. It reflects a 9% increase from the previous year and would increase our allocation by $44,924.14 to a total of $545,981. Obviously, this impacts our budget as well. Given the rate of inflation at this point in time is approximately 8%. So no action is required if you agree to the adoption of the budget as it's presented by the Polk County Appraisal District. If we wish to not agree with the budget, then we have to do a resolution disapproving the budget. Based on surrounding area, the rates that our appraisal district charges us per parcel is below the going rate in the surrounding area. And I think we all know that with inflation what it is, that everybody's budget's gonna go up. So, does anybody wish to make a motion to deny it, or we just accept it and move forward? Accept it. Okay, accept it. Item number 10, consider request from Sheriff Byron Lyons to relocate the quarterly tax sales from the Commissioner's courtroom to the Dunbar Gym. A copy of Sheriff Lyons' request is included for your review. He wants to move the tax sales from here, from this building, over there to accommodate the number of people. We have had a historic number of people that show up, and when the weather's okay, then they can do it outside. When the weather's not so okay, then there's too many people in here.
Motion to approve.
You want me to finish with the information or not?
Well, per
Okay.
the tax code, I mean,
Yes, sir. So
Property tax
per
code.
chapter 34 of property tax code, we can do that. Also, that would include foreclosures, so everything pertaining to sales would move over there. Okay, we have a motion
Motion.
from Commissioner
Second.
Overstreet, second from Commissioner Purvis. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
How much we charging him for that?
I think we should definitely put a fee on it. No.
No.
One of the issues is that the other location must be designated at least 90 days prior to using it, meaning that if we approve it, then the June sale will still have to occur here. It will be
Okay.
after June that it moves over there.
Okay.
So I just wanna make sure that it's really clear to everybody. And there'll be some minor things that we need to resolve, you know, with maintenance, because now we will be using another facility or with the sheriff, whatever we need to make it happen. Item number 11, discuss and consider any and all necessary action regarding proposal from McCord Engineering for countywide topographic map and implementing a fee for developers that elect to use the map for subdivision applications. So attached, you find the proposal from McCord Engineering for the 5-foot contour survey for Polk County. They will use the 2017 LiDAR, which is provided by TNRIS, and develop it, and it will be in both AutoCAD format and in the ESRI format. So the total cost to us would be $3,000. The recommendation that was made before, which Jed was involved in, was for us to come up with a fee, a base fee, but then it would have an additional cost per acre. I would like to suggest that we not only do that, but that we also put a cap on it. If a developer comes in and they would have to pay $1,500, then I think that we should cap ours at, say, $1,000. So regardless of the size of the development, they would never pay the full $1,500. So if we did the cap, which last time that was our example, if you did the base fee of $300 and then $1 per acre after that, then the larger developments would pay slightly more, and the smaller developments would just pay the $300. If we cap it at 1,000, then nobody will ever have to pay the full $1,500 fee.
So $300 plus $1 per acre.
Yeah. So, because the other thing you need to keep in mind is that we are gonna have to turn around and renew this
Whenever they do
in
a
2
new,
years. We're gonna be constantly
when they do a
renewing.
new scan or whatever.
Yes. So it's
I'll make
not,
that motion.
Second.
okay, Commissioner Purvis, second Commissioner Overstreet.
I think it's fair enough.
Yeah.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. We'll recoup some of our money, we'll tell the appraisal district they can pay us.
Yeah.
Okay, item number 12. Let me hand these out to you all. I worked on this morning. Discuss and consider changes to the distribution of the road and bridge portion of tax rate in conformance with the revised precinct boundaries. So, as far as we could determine, the distribution for road and bridge portion of the tax rate has been 23% for precincts 1 and 2, and 27% for precincts 3 and 4. So with the latest census redistricting, then it changed some of the acreage and it changed some of the mileage, and so obviously we need to make some adjustments. So basically,
We need to adjust these miles to these miles.
and then this is what we have right now.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, so all of this is just food for thought, okay, for you
Yes,
all to
ma'am.
consider. So, at this time, the true miles that we have, which everybody said they were gonna drive their miles, right, and verify the information. So what we have right now is basically that the precinct 1, has approximately 13% of the miles, a little more than 13%. Precinct 2 has a little more than 18% of the miles, based on the new boundaries. Precinct 3 has not quite 34% of the miles, and precinct 4 has right at 35% of the miles. Now, the other thing that came up in discussion was bridges. Okay, the wooden bridges, not state bridges and not concrete bridges, but the wooden bridges are an added expenditure. Okay, so what I've given you, if you look at it, if we start in the top left-hand corner, Road and Bridge 1, at this time, the approximate population per mile is 109 people per mile. That's just an average. Road and Bridge 2 has approximately 80 people per mile. Road and Bridge 3 has approximately 43 people per mile. And Road and Bridge 4 services about 42 people per mile. So you can see that in precinct 3 and 4, people are way scattered out. They require a lot more mileage for that. So what we did was we came up with some concepts for you all to consider. And that would be to have a base, and then you tell us, because we don't know, you tell us how you want to break down the rest of it in terms of distribution. So if we utilize a base, and in this case, we put the numbers in there for our current budget, so obviously those numbers would change, those would not be true numbers. We don't have our full breakdown yet. But if you do it based on what the numbers are today, if you say, okay, the base is going to be that 10% of the money, okay, is going to be the base, because everybody has office needs, equipment, things like that, right, that are pretty standard.
10% of the road and bridge budget?
Yes, would be 10% for you, 10% for him, 10% for him, and 10% for him. So that would be 40% of the road and bridge would be equally distributed amongst y'all. That's not taking mileage into consideration or bridges into consideration. That makes sense? That everybody has to have a starting point that's about the same in terms of equipment needs, personnel, office. And then there are the number of miles, which gives you the percentage. Then you have the number of wooden bridges, then the percentage of wooden bridges. And so what we don't know is how you want to distribute from that point forward. Do you want to do a percentage for wooden bridges, or do you want to give wooden bridges a value? I don't know what it costs to maintain a wooden bridge. So if you told us, okay, we're not gonna do a percentage for wooden bridges, we're gonna say that each wooden bridge is worth a mile or 2 miles, right? Then we know kind of how you wanna do the distribution. If you
I just
go,
wonder if a little bit.
huh?
Yeah, we're gonna
Study
study.
on that a little bit.
No, that's why we're presenting them. We just need for you all
But see,
to,
some of these, we got wooden bridges on here, some of mine aren't wooden bridges, but they're old concrete bridges I poured 30 years ago for Daddy.
okay,
That are, you know, I mean, they're not, I mean, they're in worse shape, some of them. You know, it's some that,
yeah, that's what we.
you know, they don't
Are
qualify.
they on the state bridge system?
Yeah, they're on the state bridge system, but they're not state. They're not,
Maintain.
they're not our state concrete bridges.
Yeah, well,
But I
they're
think-
off,
I think-
are they
We
eligible?
wrote them down as.
They're eligible.
They're eligible for the off-bridge
Oh, yeah,
system,
yeah,
that's
they're
what I'm
over-
talking about.
yeah, they're over 20
How
feet
many,
long.
you know, how many do you have that is not?
I got it wrote down, I can't.
Yeah, I've brought mine, I think I've got 8.
I was gonna bring it
9.
on my damn desk.
Yeah. Well, this is just food for thought, that's my
Yeah,
point.
that's what I'm
No,
asking,
my
yeah.
point is that this is just food for thought. You all need to tell us, because
Yeah.
we don't
Yeah.
know.
But I mean, those are classified really, in my mind, the same thing as a wooden bridge.
Yeah.
Because they're gonna
Yeah, and see,
eventually be replaced by the state.
Yeah, but I'm on that same note, when we talk about the bridge and stuff, I'm just looking at the ones that are not on the off-bridge system. There's maintenance on the ones that's on the bridge, there's maintenance on all of them, but, you know, it's like me, over the last 20 years, I've got 20 bridges from the state that are concrete structures now.
Yeah.
And there's more coming, but it's the bridges that we know they're not going to do anything for, so.
How many of those do you have?
I've got 8.
okay,
under
see,
20.
so
Under
that's
20 foot.
obviously important.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
That's my point. There's 8 of those that are not on the off-bridge system.
Yeah.
And that's what I was wondering. I know you got 43 bridges, I got 44, 42, 40, well, I got 44 bridges total.
I got
And that's-
55
Yeah,
total.
that's on the on system and off system. I mean, not on the off system.
But only
bridge.
8 of those are not.
Eight of those 44 are county's responsibility.
Yeah, I've done replaced a lot of mine with tank
Well,
cars.
I've-
So that's what I've been doing. I've been just taking the old bridges out and
Yeah,
putting
we've done
cars in
tank
there.
cars, too.
Not have to worry about it no more.
We done 3 last year, so we've been doing the same thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I still got
Okay,
some of those. too.
Some of them you
So
can't
you're
do
gonna-
that.
Are we gonna bring this back next?
Oh, absolutely, no, this is just food for thought. I just wanted you all to start thinking about how do you want us to weigh these things? So if you go down to the next set, okay, if you go down to the next set, we took the base to 12.5% for everybody, right? So that means that with the base of 12.5, then 50% of the money would be in the base. And then the other 50% would have to be distributed, however you tell us to distribute it, according to mileage or bridges or whatever you want to include, and how you want us to include it, for the rest of the distribution.
See, the difference in us and them on population, myself and Milt were, and I've always said it, where I've got 6 people to a mile, they've got 60. But I
That's-
might have to go 6 miles down there for those 6 people, when they can do 60 people in less than a half a mile.
And that's why this approximate population per mile is important for you to consider.
Yeah, I know, because
Because-
And it
we
is,
still,
but also-
we still
but
have
also-
to maintain it.
Yes,
Yeah, also, you know, the thing, the wooden bridges is important, and I understand y'all,
Yeah.
what you're up against. But also due to the fact that we've got so many more people per mile, and it greatly blows up on holiday weekends and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a tremendous amount of wear and tear, even on asphalt roads.
and I'm not disagreeing with
So
that.
although
All I'm
wooden
giving
bridges
you-
is important, let's don't lose sight of the fact that,
Well-
we've got a tremendous amount of maintenance there. And I know it's been said in the past that, well, you get help from subdivisions. No, I got 4 subdivisions up to 28 that participate in that little program. The rest of them do not. And it's on.
And I understand
I don't know
that.
how many Miss Guyleen has, but we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
And that's my point.
I got
I'm just
0.
giving you.
yeah, I got none that
I'm just
participate
giving
in
you
that.
facts.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, these are the miles, this is the population per mile. If you wanna use 40% in the base, 50% in the base, or 60% in the base, this is what it would look like. I'm just giving you information. So basically, what we need to know in this office for budgetary purposes, right? What we need to know is what that formula is gonna look like. We don't, you know, we don't have a preference, we're not commissioners. But basically, what I think we need to make sure we keep in mind is that this is one of the decisions that this court makes that is a county-wide impact for all our residents.
But you
right?
don't think, the percentage of asphalt roads should be?
I don't know. I
I
think.
know we're coming out here with wooden bridges, and that's fine, I understand, that's important, I get it. But the maintenance and upkeep of
And I don't know.
asphalt roads is just as important.
And that's what I need for you
Because
to
that's
tell
where the
me.
majority of the people in this county are.
And that's what I need you to tell me.
They're the ones that actually fund this base,
So we
for the
can add
most
that
part.
as another,
And you can add it, you can add, delete, subtract, do whatever you wanna do. My point is that these are the miles and the percentage. I don't know how much of it is asphalt or how much of it is not. You know, when in discussion with other commissioners, basically they said, well, yes, the original cost for asphalt or chip and seal or whatever the correct terminology is the initial cost is high, but your long-term maintenance on a rock road is high as opposed to chip and seal. But I don't know what that difference is. I have no way of knowing that.
Well, if they got a rock road, they can send a blader down, they can send a blade down, which is what I'm assuming what y'all do. Whenever they get
Later
road.
roads.
Right. And so we don't always have, we can't do that on asphalt road.
No, you can't. No, you can't. And that's my point. I don't
And with
know.
the price of gas
what-
and everything like it is, that stuff drives up. I suspect that our next budget that we get on our, the things that we go out for bids for are not gonna be near as cheap as what they've been being.
And see, I have no way of knowing that. That's why I'm simply giving you all the facts. This is how many miles of road you have, this is how many wooden bridges you have, and the percentages. But then you all need to tell us, if you're gonna break down the miles, break down the miles. If you're gonna break it down and say, well, this is the cost per mile for this kind of road, this is the cost per mile for this, and we wanna go 10%, 10%, 2%, 6%, I don't care.
Tommy,
That's a basis.
Milt, roughly per year or every other year, however it works out for y'all, how often do y'all get a bridge worked on from the TxDOT's off-bridge system?
You never know. I've had 3 in 1 year and then go 2 years and not have any.
I've got 2 right now, and there's a couple of them in 23 that's supposed to come
I've
up.
got
They're
one
just
of them.
really now, since I've been here, the last 6 years has really been the growth on there. The Fed sent the money down to get these bridges done.
But
And it's been a
I didn't
blessing
get one-
too, believe
one
me.
last year. But
They're just,
I'm not getting any this year.
no, I'm getting 3 this year. I think your year's next year.
Pine Creek next year.
Next year. I've got 3 this year. They're just finishing.
And how
up.
many bridges do you have that's not on that system, roughly, do you know, or do you remember? Tommy said he's got 8.
I've got 8, I know.
That are less than 20 foot?
Yeah.
I don't have, I think I might have 4. All of mine, the rest of mine are gonna be over 20 foot.
Yeah.
But those are bridges that are probably on that TxDOT system. That will
About 50
eventually,
About 50 of them. But I've already got 30, I've had like 30 replaced since.
Yeah, the bridge is slowly getting to dwindle down, but it's still at $300-400 a foot. It costs pretty quick to replace them. You know, cost goes up pretty quick.
So do y'all want me just to place this back on the agenda? Or do you want
Yeah.
us to do
Yeah.
it like a
Please.
workshop? No, I mean, it's gonna be back on the
Workshop be
agenda,
fine with
but do
me.
you wanna do it as a workshop?
I think so.
Like before the next meeting?
I don't know if it'd be the need to be that quick.
Well, you tell me, I don't know, but we do need to have it for budget purposes.
Yeah.
The X
This
million
is-
we gotta
well,
divide
this
it
is the
by
end of
4
April.
somehow. I mean, Ronnie's taking, I see Ronnie's point, he's taking more on that peninsula out there. That's all, pretty much all paved road.
Yeah, there's a few that's not.
But it costs a lot of money, but it's hard for us to have to buy rock, and then save money to be able to hard surface roads.
Yeah.
That's the,
But
you
you
know,
don't really do a whole lot of hard.
I mean, our maintenance, but then if I go hard
We don't have
surface
the money.
one,
I mean, you know.
I don't have the money to
by the time
do
we
it.
Just keep the maintenance up on ours, we don't have the money to ours.
and I have to be careful where I do that, because we're in the timber side of the county, and then if you do it, the first thing you have is timber coming out, or saltwater trucks or dump trucks, so
They tear it up.
tear it up. We can't
So
afford
rock
it.
is the way to go for y'all.
Rock's the way to go in our deal.
Yeah.
People don't like it, but that's all we can do. We can't do 6-7 miles of chip and
Then, you know,
seal.
like I say, it costs more to do the chip and seal road, but then y'all don't have to maintain it after every rain.
No, I get that.
I mean,
Yeah.
there's not as much constant maintenance. You know, ours is constant, but y'all all know that. I mean, I'm speaking.
You go
with fire,
you go
but,
4
you
or
know,
5
so-
years before you gotta seal it.
So we'll just all figure out what,
we-
how we gonna,
No,
be
hey,
going out
hey,
something, we come back next time.
I feel your pain, but I guess my point is that the wooden bridge should not be the only thing that's figured into this.
Oh, it's not, that's just one thing.
And I realize this is a starting point, but.
Yeah, no, that's all this is.
We need
This is-
we need to work in their percentage of asphalt roads as well.
And that's fine.
I've got a list of that, and we've got that compiled in my office, what's bituminous and what's asphalt.
I hadn't finished driving mine and getting all my mileage yet, I gotta do that.
Yeah, because what's in the book is not necessarily correct.
Well, then, whatever is not correct needs to be corrected
We'll work
as
on it.
well. So when you all are driving your roads this time, please make sure that you do the mileages exactly. Because we have found roads that, you know, on the book, they say they're 1.2 miles, but they're really 1.4.
Or less.
They say they're 1.2 and they're only 1. you know, so let's make sure that we get the book tonight as well.
Yes,
All right.
All right, y'all have your homework laid out for you. Okay, so, is there a way, I mean, can TAC tell us what the yearly expense is for
I don't know
roads?
if anyone could. I mean,
No, it fluctuates.
Ron here, Guyleen could come closer to telling us that on what they spend by just their, you know, by their mileage. And I would take their word for I would anybody else.
The stuff, the health, the university, in the University of Texas at Arlington that has the traffic center, they might have something,
Some kind of data.
data,
Okay, so can one of you all bring some kind of data, then next meeting, we can have a workshop and come up with some, with a formula. All we need is some kind of formula that tells us how you want that to be broken down.
Tommy, Milt, do y'all have any idea what y'all would spend a year? And I know it would vary from year to year, depending on traffic and who's doing what with logging and weather.
Talking about per mile?
Well, no, on bridges, what y'all would spend on repairing bridges? Not talking about the TxDOT office.
No, well, I guess you could, but I mean, a lot of them, you just, when it wears out, you just replace it, you know? I mean,
Got one right now, I've got two, truck got over on the far side of it broken in, so whenever they do that, break them crossboards, you gotta take the whole bridge up to fix the whole decking and all up, to repair that. So it's pretty expensive, but
And here's the thing.
cost per mile, we ought to be able to divide our budget up for our mileage right there, and that's cost per mile on us, because that's what we spend, labor and fuel each year. And we all know it gets us by, but it's not enough, but, you know, we do with what's given to us.
Yeah.
Basically, that's, you know, when you
And
wanna
that's-
talk about how do you
And
figure
that's
out,
kinda wonder.
how do you
why I
wanna
wonder
figure out
what
your
the
cost
budget
per
is.
mile? We got history right here. You got a budget?
Well, that's what I need. I need to know how y'all wanna break this down. You know, if you just wanna do it by straight cost per mile, okay, then we can say that's the amount, right? And this is the breakdown based on the number of miles.
That's what we've been doing for years. You get X many dollars, you make it work.
Yeah.
Well, the issue is that the mileage has shifted and changed, and that's what I'm trying to figure out. And we were told that you really needed to factor in bridges. Nobody specified to us which kind of bridges. They just said you need to factor bridges in as well. And I can't say I've ever done this, and I'm not a commissioner, so I don't know what the cost per mile is. I don't know what the cost for wooden bridges is, or,
Yeah, well, we'll study it, I'll
No,
study
we
it.
don't cost
Come back,
about,
we'll
it's our
figure it out.
budget divided by those road miles
well,
right there.
there you go. And that
Whether you're
gives us.
efficient or you're not efficient, that's what it, I mean, we spend that money on our roads and bridges, in our
Okay.
department.
And that's fine, and that is a logical way to do it. That's a logical way to do it, to go through and say, we repaired this number of miles, this is our cost per mile, our cost per mile, our cost per mile, and that gives us a starting point,
Yep.
right? So,
we'll come back to.
yes, ma'am, absolutely, because we cannot,
Yeah, because there's gonna be different factors. It's
absolutely,
kinda like the tornado that hit us.
that's right.
You know, we lost a complete year of rebuilding road. And, not only did we lose a year on rebuilding road, now we're having to go in and fix roads that were already fixed. And it's just basically because of the machinery that they brought in there
That had to
to
be,
remove.
and you don't have a choice, it's not like you had a choice. You can't say, no, keep that heavy machinery on here. You know, I know there's 65 houses down there,
That
but,
happens to us every time they help move a log.
Amen to
That's
that.
right.
We've had plenty of that too.
so,
So, you know,
basically,
it's, I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
We're in the timber belt, so we gotta keep them moving.
Dang right.
okay, so for the next Commissioners Court, we can do a workshop ahead of time before the court meets if you'd like to, and kind of hash out some of these things, and then do the decision-making, you know, do the actual vote afterwards. This is taking us into May now. That work, or do y'all wanna put it off for the first weekend, for the first meeting in May? First meeting in May gives you more time to gather information.
Yeah, we need that,
First meeting in May?
at
It's up
least,
to y'all.
at least.
Sure, what's good for y'all is good for me.
What's the drop dead deadline as far as y'all working on the budget?
With you all, it's not as much of a drop dead deadline as much as the other, offices that are in the general
So we don't
fund.
have to be in a huge hurry.
So you all are not as pressed.
I don't understand it yet.
We got our road and bridge fund sitting here, that's between us four,
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, it still has to be
So-
included in the budget.
Yeah, but it's X many dollars,
Yes, sir,
and we,
that's
that's
correct.
what I'm saying, it's not that anybody's getting any more money, it's just X many dollars, and we've got to decide
It's
how
just
we
what the
wanna spend
distribution
it.
is gonna look like.
That's all it is. So
And
it's
the
not a
only
big deal.
reason, we have to know it because it's gonna
Yeah.
get published with the budget like everything else. And then it impacts, of course, the tax office in terms of distribution, it just impacts. But it doesn't impact other offices until October 1.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so we don't have to
first
be in a
one in.
huge hurry is what I was getting at.
No, no,
Okay,
So the first one in May?
yeah,
we can start there. We may not necessarily vote on it then, but.
No, the first one in May is
They
the
talk
next
about a
one.
workshop? Is that what you said?
yeah, we'll do a workshop,
The first one in May is the next one.
yes.
Yeah.
Just
So you
keep
wanna
doing
do the
workshops
second
till
one?
everybody's happy.
We can't have workshops till y'all are all happy. Sooner or later, you have to make a
We
decision.
got up to
Okay, so you wanna
middle
do
of
the
June
second?
anyway, yeah,
Y'all
let's do the
second one
second.
in May?
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's give ourselves a little more time to.
That's fine, that's fine.
Is that a motion?
I think
Oh,
that counts as a
yes.
motion from Commissioner Vincent. Who's the second?
I'll second it with question.
First, you're gonna second.
I done second, I said second, then
Okay.
I got a question.
Hold
what-
on, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Yeah.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Question?
On the, population,
Mhm.
just kind of weighing in on that.
Okay, we just kept the math very simple. We didn't wanna have quarters of people. And so we kept the math very simple. We just said, okay, based on 50,000 people, then since the census distributes by population, then each of you should have approximately, right, 12,500 people, correct?
Yeah, that's the only, yeah, the only thing is the growth on me on the east side. And I'm just throwing this out there though, because we're going with population, y'all got all these people out there on paved roads. All these people are buying up all this land out here on these timber roads now, so you know, what's the need?
Yeah, but don't ever think that precinct 1 and 2 ain't growing.
That's right.
I know, but I'm
I'm
saying,
telling you.
Big
I'm
time.
dealing with stuff that I've never had to deal with out there before. That y'all
Okay,
been dealing with.
and so,
Hey, we set almost 30-something new culverts last month alone.
I know.
New home construction.
so, since I don't have a crystal ball and cannot project which direction growth is going to go, I will tell you that the projections are that Polk County is going to grow, period, just across the board.
Oh, yeah,
And so,
it already has.
all we can base these decisions on is what the facts and the information that we currently have that is verified information. And so that's what we've given
Do you think the census is verified information?
No,
That was the.
no, it's not. It's inaccurate. I think they missed our population by about 10% or more.
Mhm.
So I
To
think
the
that.
low side.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah, so I think our population is not 50,000 plus 140 or whatever it was. I think our population is closer to 56,000 minimum.
Yeah.
And that's not counting those people that fly under the radar and nobody really knows where they live. So I think that they missed it, but that's the only information I have that's at hand for us to make decisions based upon. So no, that approximate population per mile is based on the assumption that everybody has an equal amount of error in their census count. And basically 12,000.
Jay, you don't have any traffic counters at Plains, do you?
No, sir.
But
inmates out there.
1, 2, 3. Got somebody who sit out there and go, 1,
I'm bringing a lawn chair.
Ricky got about 200 of them down there.
I just, no, we need some workshops on this because we've gotta get this worked out.
No, y'all have to get it worked out.
But we need to, we also have to remember the Open Meetings Act, so we need to get this worked out.
No, it has
The
to.
Open Meetings Act.
That's why it'll have to have a workshop.
Yeah, we don't wanna be like some other places. So,
Well, that's not happening.
that's
So,
exactly right.
Commissioner Overstreet, it's your turn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
I can't talk about it.
Commissioner Overstreet, Commissioner Purvis. Thank you, ma'am.
Huh?
Everybody's staying office. Okay. Don't forget, commissioners, do not forget that we have interviews this afternoon, so,
1:15.
yes, sir, you need to make yourself available.